This can't be good.
Sandy, what weather?
Yes, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Nigma versus Tempo. I'm only Pixel, joined by Fog. We just have to off some Fog. What do we reckon? I've got to kind of agree with the panel that I kind of like what Tempo's got going. I like what both teams have got going. We've got a lot of team fight, got a lot of farming potential. I mean, this looks like a pretty even draft, right?
Yeah, it looks like there should be a lot of battling, and I love seeing both sides with lots of team fight in particular, because I feel like the last two games we just watched didn't really have like this crazy amount of team fight kind of kicking in. One thing I'm looking at Nigma that I feel like they are lacking a little bit is something that I hear Dan was mentioning at the end of the panel there is frontline, right? Mind control. He's the only actual like frontline tanky kind of hero for their entire team. The rest of them are very fragile.
Is that not enough? Well, you think it's just a little too much on if mind control's not about fights going on, they are going to be very vulnerable. Like, he has to be there.
I do feel like it, yeah. Unless it's like, you know, they're setting up to play with these glimpses and they're getting these constant pickoffs like that, you know, where you're just number advantaging them. I feel like it could hurt them a bit, because there's a lot of different ways that I do see Tempo getting those like quick kills, right? Like a stun into an arrow, a skewer back, there's an X into an arrow. They have so many different ways to catch and to get around these squishy heroes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they're definitely going to have to come out with some pretty nice plays, Nigma, to make their heroes sort of work. Whereas I think with Tempo, it feels a little easier with a draft, right? Because as long as they don't get run over at the start, they're going to have to troll Magnus to fall back on. Troll's going to farm. And Troll, for the most part, seems like quite a good troll game, right? This route is going to mess with heroes like the Sand King and the Faceless Void.
Yeah, in that essence, it's a good troll game. The one thing, though, that's not good, so good for the trolls, Pro doesn't like playing versus heavy amounts of magic damage, and I look at Nigma, and it's all magic damage. They will have a lot of different ways to burst him.
Yeah, because I mean, when do you sort of get a BKB in the build-up? You ideally don't, right? You want to sort of rely on sort of status resist, lifesteal, but you can't. He's going to need to. Yeah.
You have to get a BKB versus Disruptor. It breaks it, because he can just you'll just get put in his ulti, and then you can't get your ult off. So it's gonna have to be to a point, even though he doesn't want to this game, that he'll have to get it. So
sure. Yeah, we'll see what sort of progress Krill's able to make on the troll. I mean, looking at these other lanes, anyone else thought they're going to have a great time in this laning stage, or is going to struggle heavily?
I feel like bottom on the side of Tempo is going to suffer. I actually really like Disruptor plus Void. I think Disruptor is actually a very strong zoning hero. I don't see what DNZ cannot contest versus Disruptor. You just get nuked as a Mirana, and you can't trade hits as much. I mean, I feel like he's going to secure Miracle's farm pretty nicely versus Mitch.
Alright, man, do you pretty much focus all of your harassment onto the Mirana? You don't bother ever sort of thunderstriking the Magnus? Your job is to just stop DNZ from being able to do anything. Your
job as the Disruptor is block hard camp and nuke the Mirana, and then, you know, a couple extra right hits on the Mag, but mostly the Void Miracle will be able to they're actually just going to get a free kill.
Yeah, they do. They see that he's sealed arrow level 1. He throws it out. Straight away, Miracle jumps in upon him, and there we have it. First blood for Nigma.
Yeah,
they didn't skip a beat on that at all. As soon as they saw that, they were on top of it.
Yeah. Magnus Mirana, not the strongest duo of lane versus what they're against in this time around here. So.
See how much farm Mitch can get down it as the Magnus, to see what sort of build-up he goes for. He's got the one with the arcane queued up. You would imagine it's probably going to be sort of this arcane mech sort of aura offlane Magnus, would you imagine?
Yeah, I think that's probably, I think that's like the only way to really play it as the offlane.
Yeah, you don't think you can go greedy. You can never sort of try and play for yourself. You got to play the auras. I mean, was he the other day saying you didn't like the Magnus in the offlane too much, or? I
don't so much, to be honest. No. It feels very weird if you're not playing with like someone who's just going to win the game by himself, like an anti-mage, right? Like Void, with Control, he's not going to win the game by himself. He needs the backup of your team, so not crazy about the Mag with this. Not the offlaner, at least.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with it. I mean, at least they do have a good team fight around it, right? You've got Sarp and obviously the combo of Anchorin. If Noob's able to have a good game, and it gets to the point where maybe you get sort of the actions as well down the line, it's going to be a lot of team fight control that Nigma are going to have to deal with when they're trying to commit with these Chronospheres and such.
Yeah, absolutely. It is always going to give him that. I see Mind Control top. He's up to a good start. I think he's going to. I think he's going to be pretty solid this game, because this top lane, it's not the strongest. This Venge plus Troll that can't actually pose much kill threat onto it. Plus Rubik. I actually think the Sand King Rubik can pose more kill threat once they get a couple levels in their hands, which they will. Because this lane gets a lot stronger.
Yeah, a good amount of stun control and damage between the two of them once mind control starts to get the points up.
Yep. They do find the D ward on the side camp there finally too, so they'll be able to start getting those side pulls. Mid going. He's holding his own. Noob is winning that matchup, but Weeha's still doing just
As
fine.
expected, right?
Yeah.
See the Kunkka have a slight edge. You're going to have a much easier time at cutting through the wave, and you're built to withstand sort of the damage coming out from the Zeus. I mean, you sit ready just what with the Bracer. You're sitting at 1k HP in this mid lane Kunkka.
Yeah, you're free in the lane. You're able to get just a little bit more denied, put more last hit base damage. So. Rune's coming out though. Yeah, set up for the top rune, so let's see if he gets lucky. Of course he will.
Does. He does indeed. Ball refills that haste rune. He's going to think about going top. I mean, you would, right? You've just got yourself a haste rune. You're going to charge straight towards the top lane already. LeBron's as they don't even need Weeha to help with the kill on Venge. As Venge will go down. Now Weeha's kind of like, well, what can I do? I mean, you can throw a bit of damage out into control.
This does a lot.
Krillak hiding right behind the tower. As yeah, Weeha just for moral support decided to turn up to the top lane, gave them a bit of a cheer, and the job was done. Venge.
He only missed, I think, one last hit in the mid lane or so. So not much time lost there.
Step lively now.
We'll have good food on that level 6, but Kunkka will have 6 pretty decent timing before. I want to see DNZ make a move around to the mid lane pretty soon, actually. Maybe even now. I think I want to see him like back up, smoke, maybe even look for it. We do have bounties coming out, but I would like to see him set up onto Zeus kill, because easy kills with the Kunkka and a Mirana.
Absolutely, yeah. Zeus is just incredibly visible to any sort of movement. He's going for this. He's going to run straight in onto Weeha, going with the boat, but is it enough damage with the torrent? It's close, but it's not. Weeha will live. Goes down as GH comes in and offers that extra bit of control to make sure that Weeha with the trade does still end up dying as LeBron swings round from the high ground.
See you later, nerds.
Him down with a magic missile.
He threw the scan out too. He scanned on high ground, but just too late. LeBron was already in range of the stun. And meanwhile, bottom two, DNZ died to RMN as well as Miracle, as I believe they also got the bounty loot from him too.
Yeah, they did by the looks of it.
So yeah, I definitely want to see a DNZ maybe even forfeit the one bounty rune and just make that movement, because that was a for sure kill if he did make the rotation with the Kunkka. So.
A bit more pressure onto Weeha. I mean, as it is though, the noob still looks phenomenal.
Yes.
47 last hits. The route noob wants to go down because he has had one of these sort of explosive starts with regards to farm that you've got a lot of options of how you want to do this as the Kunkka.
Yeah, in this game too in particular, it's like,
yeah.
Do you want to go for anything out of the ordinary because you are playing versus so much magic damage? Or does he just go for like an early BKB because of it? Not sure. Mind control top.
He's getting pretty deep here with these sandstorms. He's very low, but no detection between the two of them. They just have that sentry down in lane, but mind control's able to play around that. See what his plan's going to be here. As the next creep wave won't quite pass through the sandstorm. Mind control's just having to remain hidden. This is quite a lot of time for mind control's not really able to do much. And now he shows. And he's got the Burrow Strike, so he's going to attempt to run away with that stun that he's able to get onto LeBron. But LeBron's going to have another magic missile in a second. LeBron's just going to run this down.
He's got the
mind control because he just had no way out of there. But no, a nice little juke of the magic missile with another sandstorm. In fact, he turns with the Burrow Strike, and never mind, it's mind control. He's going to get the kill. Wow. Wow, there we go. Beautiful stuff there from mind controllers. Well, I mean, I thought, and I think LeBron thought as well that he had that kill. He did not. Mind control turns around and gets the kill for himself, but DNZ will manage to head over and at least claim his life of time. It's getting crazy. We're seeing action all over the map in this game.
Yeah, and we did see the rotation mid. I believe it was DNZ who made the move, and they set up to Weeha with Noob. While also bottom, Miracle got a kill onto the Magnus. So Miracle is still getting quite a lot of free farm though above that troll, but there are trades happening throughout the map.
Yeah. Interesting Miracle as well. He's going to go for the Maelstrom build. I'd say probably not the most popular build on Void right now. I feel like the Master Madness progress has been what we've seen from other teams, at least here in ESL 1 Germany. But Miracle sticking to the Maelstrom build. Mid lane, Weeha gets the Thunder God's wrath out, but he does go down. Tempo's close to the three of them. We've got the X grab onto GH. Is there any further hits coming in? The Tiebringer's attempted by Noob, but doesn't quite find the angle, so GH will live. Yeah, it looks like they just did not have the availability for a further TP to come in. Miracle doesn't really want to join when he hasn't got Chrono. Ironman's TP was on cooldown, and Mind Control, he also just TP'd to the top lane, so Nigma just couldn't actually get in and finish off those 3 kills.
Great aggressive moves coming up from the side of Tempo. Now Cry that has been able to leap toward top, go near his Magnus, get that Empower going, start farming up.
I mean, and this is going to be the question, right? You know, how far can Cry go before he needs a BKB? Is he going to have to go Yasha into the BKB, or do you think he's going to try and get something else after the Yasha before that?
It really depends on how much he wants it to. Oh my, did he just get the snipe on GH with the arrow?
I mean, I think Dian's pulling off some big plays. He's making some fantastic moves. I mean, 3 kills already on this Mirana, roaming around the map, and GH getting taken out by it. You know, GH, one of sort of the finest Mirana players, but DNC's ready to show him up.
And he was one of the ones the other day that I was most impressed by when he was playing his Grimstroke. He was explosive. He was all over the place. Even when they lost the game, he was involved in like 95% of their kills.
Gotta watch out for DNC. He is on the prowl.
Good for them right now.
He's going to try and set him mid. They have got Moonlight. And with LeBron and Noob here, if any sort of stun catches onto Weehaw, Weeha's got to be careful. And again, just slightly off the mark, but he's in range for the X-Mark. They move in straight away, drag him back into the boat. Weeha's surrounded by the 3 of them. GH is trying to help out, but he cannot get them off Weehaw. As Tempo continue to make these moves, and that's the big one, and that's almost sort of the easiest one for them to make, right? Just go for this Zeus. This is when he's at his weakest. It's early game.
It's throughout the majority of the time, like this Zeus is going to be free kills until he has like a Yule scepter. They don't really have many ways to protect. You have to get a Yules this game to dodge out those X-Torrents, X-Boats.
Alright, man. So he's got the kill here on front. He's running at the same time. DNC and Noob, they get in. The Thunder God's Wrath does finish him off. Miracle's going to head over with the Chrono onto 2 of them. But has he got the damage? He's trying for Noob. He's slowed him down as well with the time delays. The bashes are there. He's going to need a couple more. Is he going to be able to find him a bit of a heal from the but the bashes are out. Miracle finishes off Noob. And now DNC try and find an escape. He's still got 1 lead left available. Miracle and Weehaw are chasing another leap out the side. He's going to take a couple of tower hits, but he's salving up. He's making space. He's wasting time as they continue to chase. DNC is still on the run, and look who's heading up for LeBron. He's able to offer up a swap, so they're not going to be able to catch him. DNC makes it out of there.
He's doing so much work right now. He's going for the max arrow build just because he has that X play with him, so he knows for the most part that that arrow is going to land whenever he does go for it.
Yep.
So that high damage that is increased from when you do max it out, and that max stun up to 5 seconds. And still looking to get aggressive. We did see that did die in the bottom lane to the Sand King as well as the Disruptor during all of this exchange.
Look at this. Krylar, as soon as he's back in the map, he wants to get involved in a fight. Sort of pre-Yasha. He's hunting for action around mid. Arrow unconnected to the free wave, but they've already got the diving tower. Krylar's just running straight in onto Weehaw. The boat's going to land down onto GH. Weeha's in trouble. Starstorm comes down. Weehaw will fall. GH also going to go down as it runs in and finishes him off with DNZ. I mean, they're making all of these aggressive movements around this mid lane behind the tier 1. Well, that was once there, of course. Now it's been taken out, and they're getting away with it. These moves from Tempo are paying off massively.
They're just non-stop tipping Weehaw too. Like we said, they are really lacking a frontliner. So this Zeus, every single time, like if Mind Control is not in position there immediately, they have to just sacrifice him because they don't have that hero to just tank the brunt of the force.
It's hard.
It's tough game for Weehaw.
I mean, I think Mind Control, as you say, he's just got to do so much. Not only has he got to be the tank, but you see where the builder's way is obviously going for the Blink Dagger Rush because they need him to initiate. But he's got to initiate and also stay alive. Otherwise, Nigma's going to have a hard time in the team fights.
Definitely bottom. Let's get nuked up. They have a glimpse.
I think they've got the setup. Right. Getting nuked low. He's going to get the ult on time. And now Mitch is going in. He's going to put the RP down onto RMN. Couple of RP though for GA. Catching on to 2 of them. Can they finish? Try that they can. Weeha's able to burst him down. They'll look for more. But Tempo, they're diving in. Miracle jumps forward, but no Chronosphere available for 20 seconds. Doesn't need it to take down LeBron. Now turns over towards Noob. They've killed off Tunic, but can they get more? Weehaw solo. Noob will be able to finish him, but Miracle should be able to find the cleanup of Noob. He's trying to dupe. Another jump forward from Miracle. He gets the final hit onto him. Will find another. So this time around, Tempo's dive does get punished by Nigma with Miracle able to stick around for cleanup, and Ironman, he's not done yet. He's going to drop the statics from that extra bit of damage. It should just do it. DNC's going to pop as Ironman pick up another one here as this game continues to brawler between the two sides.
That was, dude, Armen is owning. He's 3-0-6. 1400 he almost has a glimmer for his team.
All right.
Armen is very impressive on his disruptor, I have to say, almost every time. We see this fight again. The stolen RP kind of turns all the aggression around. And then I see Miracle jump in and get a 4-man time dilation. Everyone's spells are just locked in place. They all have to back away at very slow speeds. Very nice hold there by Nigma, as it's hold that they don't have to commit many big ults, right? They use the Zeus ulti, but
didn't need chrono. I think they didn't have it. I mean, it didn't matter. You say didn't need it. I mean, if you hit time dilations like that, who needs a chrono?
Yeah, they didn't have chrono, and the static storm came up at the end of the fight, so that was pretty huge for them there. They're gonna have all those up again to be able to fight versus Tempo, and that is Krylet. You know, he was getting free from up top. He shows up and dies twice.
He's been very insistent in trying to turn up, but it's not been easy for him. I mean, as you said yourself, he needs this BKB. He's going to go for the full S and Y. So if he doesn't, I mean, I imagine he must be getting it afterwards. You know, until he has that, we're going to see the same sort of thing happen as happened there, where they kite him out during the ult, and as soon as the ult ends, it's just so much magical damage that they don't even need to be close to him to throw out at him. It's a very hard fight for the troll to turn up to. Yeah,
just so much damage and control throughout all of it. He's gonna have to be really careful with how he approaches the fight. He has to have, I feel like he has to have run buff running in also. But we'll see. As Noob, he is gonna be the one that is going for that first side of BKB. We were kind of thinking that would be the case when he's versus all this amount of spells. Yeah, it looks like double bots on the side of Nigma. So bots on the Zeus soon coming up, and bots on the Sanking. So looking for the global threats.
I mean, with the frequency that Tempo's been trying to fight, you can certainly understand why Nigma wants to make sure they can turn up. So they get the jump onto Mitch. Again, Armen, no holding back, drops the ult. Miracle, he found the catch on the two of them. Even Zigma over LeBron. And DNZ getting caught in the corner, but DNZ is able to jump out to the side. Miracle, time walking away. Mind Control still hunting for more. The Moonlight Shadow is there, but they have the detection now. Noob will pop the BKB. Gonna look to try and escape with this match. Community is even thinking about turning around and getting a hit onto them as GH is getting low. The arrow's in onto Mind Control. Torrent to follow up, but they won't push any further. Tempo, they'll back away.
I'm surprised Krylet's here. He's just watching from the side the entirety of the fight. I feel like he should be farming during all this. I feel like he's getting too involved with his team right now. He was waiting for the Empower here to show back up to push up bottom, but he waited for like 30-40 seconds just watching his team there.
Yeah, they do need Cry to keep up, because you can see already the difference between Miracle and Cry. It's already pretty significant. Nearly a 2k difference between the carries.
Oh, wait again.
Tempo able to find the Zeus alone. I mean, and his game's definitely getting hurt. You know, Weeha still unable to really get too much traction in this game because he's on such a vulnerable hero, and Tempo are abusing that. Now, Tempo with that kill, they're going to step towards the pit. They'll be able to do this pretty safely with a mischance, and building up at the floor from Krylet.
And there's no Zeus, there's no Chronosphere. You're fine. Yeah, they got this one for sure.
I mean, Mind Control's got his off, but I guess he's not in position to do anything about this. He's going to start teaming over towards that top tower. They might be able to make it in time.
Oh, the arrow too to scout it.
Arrow and LeBron. By LeBron. If Mind Control can time this epicenter, he could go for the steal. He's getting low. Roshan is gone, and Tempo, they've already picked it up. Nigma not able to strike in time. Mind Control still sticking around. He's going to look for the pressure. Onto LeBron. LeBron getting low for LeBron. He's able to try and get the magic missile out. Mind Control, he gets taken out. Tempo 5-1, and now they're going to look for more. Miracle's got to be careful. Pops the time dilation, jumps out, but he hasn't got a Chronosphere. Doesn't want to stick around. DNZ hunts for the arrow, but Iron Man's able to duke it. Mitch, the static storm, a glimpse to the side, getting him back in reach of the lift up from GH, but Mitch, he's still able to skewer away. Thunder God's Wrath isn't enough damage. The arrow from GH doesn't quite connect. Now they're looking to move back in with Noob, popping the BKB. He's got the control on Weeha, but Weeha saved for now by the Glimmer Cape. He'll live. Cry's got to be careful. He's getting low into this battle trust, but he's still got the Aegis. They'll pull him back with a glimpse. They're looking to try and take him down the once, but the Moonlight Shadow's back up from DNC, and DNC gets them out of there.
And only the Venge and the Tanking died during the entirety of it. Both teams just very cautious to overcommit. Ah, very nicely done there by Tempo, taking advantage of that kill they get.
He's unable to make the pounce in time around the pit. to put a stop to it. Mitch does step forward for the creep wave. Mind control, he's going to go in on him. The glimpse back, the creep's exploding. But the caustic finale will cause the death of Mitch. DD Rune as well to be found down bottom. Miracle's going to step over. They've got to be careful now, Tempo. DD Void ready to go, and with the Chrono, DN's going to leap, hands to the side, but he's found by the dilation. Jump forward from Mind Control, Burrow Strike, and DNZ is no more.
They're throwing the boat out, but the X wasn't on him beforehand.
They did get the X. There's Miracle. He found the Chrono, and it's on the big one as well. Cries and the Wands, as well as LeBron. Can they do it a second time?
They're going to have it for him.
They're going to make sure there's enough damage. Static Storm, the kinetic field's down. Iron Man traps him in. No escape for Krylan. Miracle, he's thinking about diving for more. Jumps in with the Time Walk, looks towards Noob, but slow from the Shockwave. Will hold him back a little bit. Does mean that Noob still has to pop the BKB at the worry of Mind Control, catching him with a Burrow Strike. Nigma pushing back hard now. They're taking away that Aegis and the Troll's life on top of it. And they'll look to put some pressure onto the tier 1 mid.
Definitely seeing that concern though for Krylat, right? Like he went for S and Y, he queues up the BKB now right afterwards, but these deaths are they're costly. Miracle has 3 levels over that Troll Warlord now. 0 deaths as well, 8, 0, and 3 right now on this Faceless Void, having a flawless performance.
Yeah, I think it is. Got to be as you say. Tempo's got to be telling Cry to stick to the jungle, or at least play away from them. He needs to have the space and time to get that BKB, because without it, he is just such a liability in these fights.
He even had Nether Shaw the whole time, but you can see it doesn't matter. There's just far too much magic damage and control from Nigma versus a Troll Warlord.
I mean, they're smoking him in again. They're going to try and make a play with the Troll. We'll see if this works out. They do have the ults. You know, they've got Moonlight up as well to get that really good setup.
There's no Chrono. The Static Storm's up in about 15 seconds, so this is a really tough place for Nigma to fight. They're going to scan. They're aware of this going on.
We're going to still try and move on with the Moonlight. Of course, unaware that Nigma are fully aware. Weehar's hiding in the trees. I mean, they're going straight in. And they've got him. Weehar has been hunted down. I mean, that was an excellent sweep. How were they so sure that he was there? How did they know?
They saw. I can say they knew he was top, and they anticipated that he'd be able to move down into time. That's big brains.
Very nice. And now also getting that position, they're able to get the ward down as well.
Yeah.
Imagine Mike get dewarded those. They would have been aware that they found Weehar pretty easily once they were in there.
It's pretty quickly dewarded, yeah.
You would imagine.
They're looking to get aggro out here. They got a glimpse of DNZ for trying to set up, but the wraparound is here. Noob's already here. He sees Mind Control and RMN.
I mean, he can BKB and TP out if he wants. He's actually going to hunt for RMN. RMN.
Ooh, this on per sec. The arrow vision.
Oh, he's hiding. DNZ hot in the case, but they got X in time. They do. They've got him. Dragging RMN straight back after he tries to TP away. Oh, get themselves the kill. And I mean, RMN, a very high value kill. It's the first time that he's died this game after having such a spectacular start as the Disruptor.
Ooh. Yeah. That's a big steal. Rubik has Empower for Miracle.
Oh, Miracle's going to be very happy with GH today.
Yeah. He's already farming. He's already quite a bit still above that Troll. Now kicking this in too. He's going to have this Mjolnir finished at any moment.
Yeah. BKB is, it's nearly there. Nearly there for Prylat.
Okay.
Just a component away. And then once he has that, he's going in with the BKB and the Empower. And as we said, you know, if he gets on top of Miracle, Miracle doesn't have anything defensive. So one sort of route could cause big issues. They don't have any sort of saves or items to get Miracle out of that either. So Miracle's got to be very careful how he jumps in once the Troll's got the BKB and is ready to go.
Yeah. He has to kind of focus fire him with that Chrono. Has to be very wary though. He has to be careful of where the Venge, the Magnus are in position. There are different saves that he does have to watch out for.
Yeah, for sure. If he doesn't get him bang in the middle of the...
Quite a lot here. But you can see they're not trying to force or rush anything here. They're perfectly fine with just sitting back and farming. They avoid. I feel like anytime that you avoid, you're fine with just taking to later stages. As you know that you're in a weird spot where tempo is very strong still.
Yeah, for sure, especially with the Solar Crest on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like that.
Just making sure that Cry is going to be able to have a strong game once he has the BKB. That he certainly will.
How's How's Yule's looking? He's getting closer to it. Yule's is gonna it's gonna be huge for him because that makes him just be able to break the combos so he doesn't just get X'd into Thorn, into Bode, into Arrow, into everything. Actually protect himself properly. And they're all just rallied around Miracle, just kind of sticking around him in these trying times.
That's interesting as well. We have a Noob going for the Glimmer. What's sort of the plan behind that?
He's versus a ton of magic damage. I actually been liking these Glimmers on core heroes a lot more. I remember I saw
we've seen it before, yeah.
It was what Nisha did it at the Omega League on the Kunkka, I think it was. And then I've seen a lot of people
whatever
picking it up.
Kunkka did it, but you're right, it was Nisha.
Yeah. A lot of people start kind of copying it, and people have just been doing it on other heroes. Oop, top, DNZ. He gets spotted by Nigma's movement. And they have the blink on GH now, so lots of different forms of catch now on Nigma. Blink, Sand King, Blink, Rubik, Glimpse. Tempo has to watch out how they retreat from certain situations.
Did Radiant's bottom tower just fall? Don't answer that.
But just all about that BKB, which they will have now done on Krylat.
And we'll see how he's able to play the fights in comparison to Miracle. Yeah. It's definitely still the tougher ordeal for the Troll. Still fair bit of catching up required. Miracle sitting very comfortably at the top, 9-0-3. Yet to be taken down this game as the Faceless Void about to hit that level 18 as well. So I have that good duration of Chronosphere that is going to mess with tempo as long as he's able to play around the bench, make sure that someone else is on top of LeBron or that he catches LeBron in it.
Yep. Weah has Yule, so he's safe, like we were mentioning. But yeah, you can see tempo, they're really trying to kick up that pace, trying to find something here with it. But Nigma immediately, they just nuke out the mid lane in a safe manner, keep their Zeus in a defensive spot, and they just have Miracle keep farming. And Miracle he's looking to try to maybe get DNZ. I saw DNZ farming, he started moving his way toward top instantly.
Bounty.
What would you say is there more press teams at this stage of the game to do something, or are both of them sort of fine farming it out?
I feel both are fine farming it out. It's really just going to be an execution in the team fights, yeah.
I'm going to see Tempo try and make a move and catch Nigma off guard. They're going to have to do it very cleanly though. At this point with the pass in this, all ults are available. Imagine that Nigma will happily take a fight unless they lose someone straight away, and they might lose Weah. This is great position for Tempo to be in as they'll find Weah. Trying to get away. The arrows off the mark though. Is there going to be any backup to try and help Weah? They are coming over with TPs. He buys himself some time with the York Scepter, but the torrent hits. Weah goes down. Static's going to be put down by him. He doesn't actually catch anyone in it. He's going to glimpse Mitch away to make sure that he himself doesn't get caught by the hold of the Magnus. But Noob, he's charging in. See if he can find anything. Let's go for the blind torrent. Find RMM. Still though, Static Storm down. Doesn't really catch anything, and Tempo, they get away with a very easy move. I mean, anytime that they do find Weah, even with the Yules, he's still going to be a relatively quick kill.
Yep. Well, they seem to do no Miracle. He's actually going to go for him here.
See if he's got the damage. There's still a BKB and a bow, but is he even going to get the chance to pop it out? He's not. Luke goes down before he can get a single one of them. That Miracle can move over 4. Gets the Chronosphere on the low ground and the high ground, catching both LeBron and DNZ as Nigma get 2 more kills thanks to Miracle's quick-witted plays.
Ooh, Luke has to be way more careful with how he shows himself in the lane. There's so much chain stun. Mind Control even tanking the arrow for Miracle to make sure that he can keep focus firing. And now it's right around Roche.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3 dead. Very hard to put a stop to this. I mean, Mitch does have Blink and an RP. If he wants to go for some sort of superhero play, he could. Okay, doesn't look like he's intending to do so. Not heading over. Miracle is a little low. With this Roche, it's going to be a huge jump up again for Miracle's powers. Like, Aegis is going to be available for him if he's the one to take it, and he's still going to have the money for the completed MKB at 27.
The whole MKB versus the Troll Warlord, that is... He's more than a full item over the Troll who has Empower. That's saying something. Sure, he had his own Empower for some slight moments of it, but he's having an absolutely flawless performance while we see Krylat. He's suffering. Like those 3 deaths every single time he showed up. He's not farming in the pace that you'd expect a Troll with Empower. He actually looks like a Troll without Empower because he's not even at like 10 last hits per minute or anything like that, or 9 last hits per minute. He's quite behind.
And you would say, if you were sort of to go back, that would be your biggest sort of surprise that Cry didn't go heavier on the farm and was trying to sort of fight this sort of pre-Yasha moments, you know, before his level 10 as well, very early on in the game.
I feel like he just turned up a couple times too many. And he was playing on the same side of the map as his team too. Like when that fight bottom was happening, when they lost 3 heroes, he just watched for about 40 seconds rather than being on the other side, hitting neutral camps or pushing lanes or anything. I feel like he had to have been a little bit more selfish with his own farm so far here. Not to say they're fully out of it, but it's looking pretty tough right now.
It's just very worrying for them seeing how big this face is Voids. Miracle.
Yeah.
Gonna jump in, does get caught by magic missile. It's gonna be dodged. GH active with a stolen bow. Comes crashing in. Sail will swap. Mitch out to the side and throw LeBron, but LeBron goes down because of this. And now Miracle, he's gonna try and chase for more Cries. But the BKB is soon to be wearing off though. Will still manage to sneak away there with a Moonlight Shadow. Persisting, DNC is still caught in the river. Jump forward from Miracle. Uses the Glimmer Cape. Will save DNC for now. Cry, he's trying to step toward this, but he will get glimpse to the side. Mitch jumps in. It's an RP. Has managed to catch the 2 of them, but there's no follow-up. Mitch has to now turn and run. It's caught Cry without the BKB ready to go. Anybody will go down. Mind Control jumps over the epicenter. The point of Cry catches the 2 of them. A double kill for We Are. Miracle picks up a 4. A Noob, the last remaining member left alive, to run back to the base. Miracle's in. Chronosphere still ready as he drops it down to get the effective team wipe. We are claiming some glory here as he's the one to pick up the triple. Now at a 6k lead, and with the way that these fights are going, the gap between the Void and the Troll is only going to expand exponentially at this rate.
Oh man, Nigma just
going to
crushing that spell usage in comparison to Tempo. Tempo just not getting their spells up almost at all, and now Miracle with Aegis, he puts them on this weird back foot that he just jumps into the fight, and when Carnage like that starts, you don't really know how to use your spells, right? It's like this Void is just in the midst of everything with an Aegis. You don't want to waste your spells on him, and it ends up just causing way too much chaos. They're all just panicking, and they can't actually do anything.
Tier 2s now. No contest. Miracle just continuing to go unharmed for this game, 13-0-7.
I mean, I believe he's gonna have the Satanic soon too, and he already was, he's already 13-0-7. He's already unkillable with an Aegis, and he's gonna have another on top. I think that's a pretty good person to tip right there. Yeah, Miracle's had a pretty perfect game.
But you know, despite the difference growing, there is going to Cry's there. Cry's trying to go for this. Gonna put the BKB and the ult to try and deal with Miracle, but Miracle's actually still able to time walk out. They turn over towards Mind Control. They will be sanking. Can they find the route onto Miracle? They can't. He's able to jump out and away from them. But they've found Mind Control. See if they can turn this into anything more. Noob chasing down GH. GH turns with the ult to put a stop to the potential X-Mark play. Still fighting with the X-Mark. She's got the ult, so he finds himself a little bit of time. The battle trance will allow him to live for a little longer. But he's still alive. He's gonna live totally.
He's alive.
He actually died. Finally dies. Noob's able to get him with the Tidebringer hit. But he's bought time. He was able to live that long. Bitch does come in with the RP on. 2 of the Cries stepping over. Big court shatter remains getting low, but Miracle still survives. Turns over towards Bitch. Is 3 dead. Only Noob and DNZ left, but Mind Control finds the Marauder, jumps over, catches him with a Borrow Strike. Another team fight where they're trying the best, and they do get the cleanup from Noob. Noob, he got a lot of golden XP from that one, I'll tell you that. Miracle is going to try and chase him, but the X-Mark is already down. Mind Control is tag teamed in as he jumps forward, has the lockdown with the Burrow Strike. It's Noob, they get the torrent out, does get the boat coming down as well, but he's already dead. Miracle finishes him off with another set of bashes. As they're trying their best in these fights, Tempo, but it really just is too hard with just this huge difference. How far Miracle is ahead off the back of that fight. Well, he's nearly level 25.
I can't believe a battle trend. I mean, I can't believe like Jojo saves it, but I can't believe it turns the fight into this type of situation where it's just such chaos for Tempo, where everyone just ends up dying.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And your game is just over. This Void is just too much to deal with as he's got Chrono available. He might look to just do it. Oh, the arrow.
That was beautiful. But it's not enough. Miracle pops the same Titanic. He's back up to full HP. Brian's going to try and get in, but the Chrono's now is caught for 3 of them. He's over towards LeBron. LeBron. LeBron goes down first, turns to DNZ. DNZ falls. The Epicenter's out. Cry. We're going to be giving the bow chance off. The root's there. The Soren as well. Miracles in trouble. He's getting control. He's dead. Cry. He found one. This is the comeback of Cry, ladies and gentlemen. He's ready to look for more. Who else can he find? Shockwave drags back. GH Cry's in. And the bash is there. It's another kill for Krylat. As they will hold. Krylat says, I'm not out of this game yet. Does cost them 3 buybacks to turn it around and hold the base, but they do hold the base.
And the troll does get the big kill, and he's getting, he's getting closer toward that abyssal. Like the basher really is his big timing to become very strong. He still need a lot more of that because it did cost him the 3 buybacks, but some signs of life from Nigma, you know, playing super over aggressive.
And Cry's able to get on top of Miracle again with these bashes and roots. And maybe Tempo can still turn this one around despite the critical mass that the Miracle's been able to reach at such a pace.
I better hope he dives for under the tier 4s again, though. Because he's still pretty insanely strong. Armen, he finds DNZ.
From DNZ. They're trying for this, but
look at Weehaw.
Control running at them.
Look at Weehaw's positioning. He did not leave the base there. He was like, nope, you guys have got me 10 times, but that 11. Not gonna get me the 11th time.
What's going on? Where's Mitch? Mitch is here. Mitch has got the blink RP. If they could get a jump in an RP before the void's up.
Cry's getting extremely low though. He has to be careful. A stun from mind control, he might just get popped.
He's got 15 charges on the one. They're gonna get. They managed to find connection with the taunt and the arrow. We are being caught by the stuns. We are is gone. Cry did put the BKB for that commitment. And I've got to be careful now. Miracle's back in the game, mind control, starting things off with a stun onto Mitch. Mitch, at time, but they still have to glimpse back. Mitch will be left behind. The rest of them looking to get out of there. DNZ, he's out in the trees with the TP. LeBron, he's hiding and he's hoping.
See you later,
back. Nigma will manage to punish Tempo for slightly overstaying there with the 2 kills. And now they can push back themselves. Miracle's nearly got the chrono good to go again. There's a double damage rune up top as well. And this is quite a big window. 70 seconds without Mitch able to come into the game. Quite a crucial component for just having some sort of threat that Nigma are going to think twice about pushing into. Now they don't have to worry about the Magnus for a minute. Yeah,
still 20 seconds on the BKB too of Krylat. He has to be careful where he gets caught. If he gets caught by disruptor spells before that's up, he's dead.
Ooh, Ida's middle tower didn't last long.
Miracle's going to force the issue here. Got this cheese in hand. He's going toward top. Has the backup of his whole team as Weehaw is respawning, and I believe Weehaw has a pretty much full Aghanims when he does respawn too.
Seconds to fight without Mitch. And Nigma, they're sticking around. The swap.
The arrow again.
The arrow. They're going to control the magic missile as well. He's getting solid. He's able to live. The E-Blade keep him alive. Chrono's out onto the 3 and he turns for DNZ. He's going to look towards Krylat. Krylat's backing off. They've got the Rex though. They've got what they came for.
Did that split-second E-Blade save him? I think it did. Right? It definitely did.
It was an E-Blade. It was absolutely that E-Blade saved his life. Without the E-Blade, he was dead. He was 100% dead. Mind control. Just what a pro. He saved Miracle so hard there.
He literally just had picked it up too. I saw him pick it up and I was like, oh, okay. And then boom. Yeah, just in that situation gets it off. Bails out his buddy. They back up. They lose mind control, so they're going to give them some respect. They're going to back away together. And like you said, Magnus is back up, so they're still a little bit afraid of that RP.
I mean, yeah. Huge save, and they got what they came for.
Yeah.
Still continuing to very much be in their advantage. Nigma this game, 18k advantage at 42 to 25 in a set of racks up. Pressure is on for Tempo. They've got to come out with some outstanding jumps, outstanding RPs. And Mitch, he's getting close to the items to be able to do that. You see him going for the Shadow Blade just so he has that extra setup.
It's not an easy game to be able to try to set up for those RPs. You're playing versus Zeus. You're playing versus like a lot of situations where there's just vision on you. Just if you mistime it, Thunder God's Wrath, all these different spells, they mess with your Blink Dagger a lot. And he also has to always watch out for the GH Rubik. As he's already got he got the RP, I believe, what, twice this game already? And now he has an Aeon Disc too, and just so many different positioning items. There's a lot of situations where Mitch has to just be very careful of how he uses his spells.
Yeah, I mean, I get in terms of sort of playing against a Rubik when you are the Magnus. Like what are you meant to do? You just meant to try and instantly shot play after the RP. I mean, is that the best way to cover yourself?
Yep, or catch him in it.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Yeah. Got to be quick on that, otherwise, yeah. GH, as you say, he's always going to find that chance if you sort of skip a beat and aren't covering your RP.
Especially like with Aeon Disc 2, it makes it easy because if you are caught inside the RP, you can still get your steals off and spells off. Mind control, he peeps, he sees him for a second.
Oh, the Thunder Gods Wrath to get themselves vision. Mitch still hunting, but the dust is out. Nimbus as well, Miracle's in. He's up front for 10 seconds. Got the two on the back lines. Mitch is dragged in. Static Storm causing issues to Cry. Arrow does connect onto RMN. Cry getting controlled by these constant but he still has the BKB back up. He's actually going to put the BKB to try and get out, but the Miracle is there in time to put a stop to the escape at Control. The Chrono catching him through the BKB, of course. They do manage to get out on Nude, but 4 of them down on Tempo. Nigma can sweep down the mid lane, and nobody has buyback available.
And that's what we're saying, how the game for Mitch is just, it's so difficult. They just pop the Zeus ult, he runs around in circles trying to get away from glimpses and stuns, but inevitably gets it by one, and Chronosphere comes up at literally that split second to be able to catch the troll at the end of it all.
And they're getting aggressive for this. They're no Noobs alone. Noob has got the BKB to run back. Nigma will be better suited to focus on the barracks here mid. There'll be one more fight left in Tempo. You can feel it, especially the way that they've played, despite being behind a lot of this game. They're certainly giving it their all.
I should look for their
Right, they've got the fortification, but you're right, without the troll up, they are unlikely to try and fight this. One final hurrah. You're able to survive 30 seconds. The skewer nearly gets GH back into the base. Isn't quite enough of a distance. Static Storm's down. Mitch will wait it out. 20 seconds until Krylet's on. Back in the game. And then they'll try for something more. But the Megas are out. It is going to take something remarkable from Tempo to turn this one, as Nigma, of course, feeling very confident. Miracle continuing to probably just tab open his scoreboard and have a little look at what he's achieved. He's 23-1-13 this game.
And then Weehaw probably opening up the scoreboard and looking at Miracle's score and being like, man, that's a nice score.
See you later.
And then saying, you know what, I did that. You know what I mean? He's like, look at the space I created, you Miracle. All that space. And to be fair, a lot of the deaths did take a lot of focus from Tempo.
For sure.
Proof to that to be said.
Yep.
See what they can do. They're going to try and set with the Moonlight. They need something to really... they're not going to be able to catch it by surprise. The Thunder Gods Wrath from Weehaw certainly doing his job there.
Oh, another DD.
Spots it out.
Of course, another DD for Miracle.
Always spots the room. So what they're going to do? Got the Hex. But again, this E-Blade making Miracle more than fine as he's able to jump away. Burrow strike in on a Krylet. Krylet will pop the ult, but the bashes from Miracle are real as Cry can't even get a touch onto the Festus Void as Cry will go down. 3 dead on Tempo. They're up to the high ground. Jump ball from Mind Shoulder Burrow strike, and GG is full. Nigma will take game 1 here against Tempo. A fun game, lots of action. But action that Tempo just... well, they kept up with. It was just the fact that throughout this action, there was a void.